Recording. Happy New Year, guys. This is my first um, video for 2026. And yeah, since we don't have any trips planned right now, I thought maybe I would write a letter. I've actually been writing a different letter, but then recently something came up and I thought, oh, I think this is a this is a good reminder and it might be something nice to share, right? But it's just funny. And the last time I was writing a letter, I was planning something else completely. And in the end, what happened was something else came up and I changed the topic. And here we go again. Some of you might be wondering, why do I call these letters, right? And I guess they're more my thoughts, right? It's not written out to anybody in particular, but also at the same time, I want to share it. I want to put it out there, right? I think it gives me a little bit more, um, I don't know, I guess I can say what I'd like to say and not feel so shy. So anyway, recently, um, I met somebody, right? And and we were chatting, it was just like a nice, pleasant conversation, Um, and in the conversation, we started talking about, I don't know how it ended up, but we ended up talking about kids, right? And she had mentioned that her eldest child had passed away, right? And so I felt bad. I was shocked, right? And so I kind of asked her more about it a little bit. I was like, so how old would your child have been now, right? If your child, were still around, and she had mentioned, oh, she would probably be eight. She would not probably. She would be 18, right? And at the time that she had passed, she was 10 years old, and it was something. It started out as something really benign, right? Um, she just felt like she had a sprained ankle, and it turned out to be something more and something unexpected, right? And anyway, I didn't really ask for details, but before she knew it, right? I mean, her child was in the hospital, and a few days later, she had passed away, right? 10 years old. And that is especially heavy for me because my son is around that age, right? And I don't even want to imagine the thought. And then just today, I ran into another friend, and she was recounting to me the story of her son and how a very young guy, very fit guy, one day out of the blue, he woke up in extreme pain, and he couldn't move. To make a long story short, he had had some injury that happened, on his spine, and they had to do, um, an emergency procedure basically, um, because he felt like he was losing sensation to his body, right? And talking to my friend, and she was sharing with me, how lucky they were. They were able to get him medical attention right away. She was sharing with me also his um, physical therapy and occupational therapy, and just doing movements, really simple movements like, reaching out for a cup, and bringing it back, right? Holding a ball close, or he would get like a cloth and put it over his, his hand, just so that I I don't know, something to do with the nerves, right? But it was very painful. What really struck me was, I mean, just like the story of, the other girl that I met, her losing her 10-year-old daughter, and the story of my friend, how out of the blue he had, a medical emergency that basically left him practically, unable to walk and to move. I think it just really struck me how life is so fragile, right? That how at any moment it could change, right? Some of those changes could be final, and some of those changes could be, something that takes away things from you and things that you take for granted, right? And so I guess the reason why I decided that I think that this should be the first letter for 2026 is because it's a reminder for me, right? Not to take things for granted, not to take this time for granted. What have I been doing? Like overthinking, you know, what am I going to do next? Planning, right? And not doing. What am I doing with my photographs? They're just sitting there in my hard drive, you know. What am I doing with my videos? It's just sitting there on the hard drive. Well, at least now I'm putting them together as videos, and they're fun to do. But yeah, and this, you know, letters, putting my thoughts out there too. Oh, what am I waiting for, right? I know I said that last time in my first letter, but the truth is, yeah, I pushed forward, but I think that I also still held back a bit. Maybe now I think, yeah, I think I'll just, try new stuff. I guess basically it's just a reminder for me to do what I've been wanting to do, prioritize myself and what the voice inside is saying, oh, do this, right? Because life is precious, time is precious. And just like these two stories that came to me this year, the first week, is it the first week? Well, yeah, the second week of 2026, right? I think it's a good reminder that I gotta get cracking. Let's do this. Let's just create and create and create. And maybe you feel the same way too, right? Have you been holding back? Is there something that you really want to do? Yeah, who knows how much time we have left? Let's go. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's try something new.